off with some dumbbell squat jumps for 6 repetitions first. I'm gonna grab that weight, sit back into my hips, load and explode. I'm landing nice and soft with flex hips, flex knees, and flex ankles. All right, and then I'm gonna back that exercise up with glute bridges here. I'm going for 12 repetitions. So on that glute bridge setup, laying flat on your back, get that nice little bend in the knee and the hip. My heels are down, my toes are lifted up, just to emphasize that I'm using backside muscles for this exercise. And then I am pushing my hips up to full extension, just using those hip muscles, keeping the back nice and neutral. All right, I'll take a little breather right here and then go back again into that second round of squat jumps for 6. Now, again, these are home-based workout videos. If you don't have dumbbells, that's okay. Just use body weight. You can place your hands behind your head if you do this, or keep them by your side for a little more momentum. Main thing is that you're sitting back, loading into your hips, and that you're landing soft, not stiff with legs and knees locked out. All right, and then second set of glute bridges right here, with again emphasis on the fact that your spine is neutral, and we're just going into that hip extension by firing those glutes up. And I'm not cranking into my back here. I'm just going to the point of full hip extension with using my glutes and then my hamstrings as accessories. All right, we'll take another little breather, and then third and final round of 6 and 12. Alrighty, next on our list, goblet squats. We have 12 repetitions here. And again, on the goblet squat, we're just again sitting back into those hips, not letting the knees shove forward over the toes. And I'm allowing my elbows to drop in between my knees, all while keeping my chest up through the movement, not bowing down or hunching down. I'm holding that dumbbell like a goblet in between both hands. And now I'm going to leg scissors. So on this one, we're gonna try to keep that low back pressed into the floor, AKA keep the pelvis tilted or pulled back, just so we don't really crank on your low back here. And I'm going side to side or east to west on the leg scissors. Just did 20 of those, in and out or side to side. Taking a quick breather, and then back to the second round of dumbbell goblet squats. So we'll see here in the front of you how I'm holding that weight. My palms are completely under the cup end of the bell, holding it at my collarbone, keeping my collarbones, keeping my chest up, and again reaching back through my hips, making sure that weight is distributed between the big toe, small toe, heel of both feet, and elbows down in between the knees. All right. Another set of 12 repetitions there, and then back to leg scissors. So on leg scissors, if you have problems with your low back hurting on this one, you can always angle your legs up higher in the air. What that does is it helps again to keep that pelvis in a more neutral position or push into the ground to give you more lumbar support. So 20 of those are done, and then the third and final round of goblet squats. That is a 35-pound dumbbell. Again, use what you have. If you don't have dumbbells, you can get really creative and use a sack of flour or sugar or rice. fill up a backpack, maybe your kid's backpack since the kids are not in school right now, with you know, whatever you have lying around, like clothes, socks, maybe some books, and utilize that. So it's all about getting creative with what you have in your home. All right, and then the final route. Again, these leg scissors can also be done up and down. Here I'm just choosing to go east to west or side to side, crossing one foot over the other, but it is your choice. You have options. All right, next I got the dumbbells set down on the floor for dumbbell push-up to row. We're going 12 repetitions on this one as well, which just basically means 6 pulls each arm, but a total of 12 push-ups. So the wider you have your feet spaced, you get a little bit more support from the movement here. But you want to basically line yourself up in push-up position, wrists under, elbows under shoulders, back neutral, core engaged. As you come down, you'll come back up and then add that row in there by squeezing the shoulder blades. So again, the more narrow you have your feet, the more challenging. The wider you have your feet, a little bit more support you have there. Okay. From there, we're going into floppy fish, and these are what floppy fish are. You're going to find that pivot point on your hip, lay on the side of it, open and close, bring that hand back, and then close it in to meet the feet. So essentially, it's like a side lying V up. So we have 10 on one side, we'll switch over and get them in the garage. Put a little speck of dirt right there on the floor, it's all good. And another 10 repetitions on the other side. Open and close. And again, finding that pivot point at the hip is key. You're not lying completely on your side. You're almost in a slight V position. All right, here for the second set, I'm going to demonstrate a modified version of the dumbbell push-up to row. So here I'm still working with the weights in my hands. I still have wrists under, elbow under shoulders, though they're slightly in front of me, just a touch to make up for the fact that I'm inclined on my knees. And so, yeah, positioned on my knees versus my feet. And still applies with the further apart I have my knees, a little bit more base of support I'm going to have versus if I have my knees more narrow. All right, I'm going to set those to the side and go back again to the second round of floppy fish, laying on my side here. And I'm showing a modified version of the floppy fish. So for those who kind of struggle with arm completely elongated, legs completely elongated, this is the bent elbow, bent knee version. You're still trying to pivot yourself on the side of that hip, pressing bottom hand into the floor for support. And then I'm going to still open and close, elongate and shorten, bringing the elbows to the knees versus bringing the hand to the feet. So this modifies it down just a little bit. Back in the day, these used to be called Jane Fondas. All right, and the final version I'm going to show you is super modified. I am just only going to use the weight on the row portion of this push-up to row. So as you can see, I'm on my knees. I'm going to do my push-up per usual, and then grab the weight at the top and then pull that in for the row for 12 repetitions. So again, getting 6 pulls on each arm, 12 push-ups all together. So just another way to modify down if we're still at that beginner level, which is okay, awesome. All right, then once again, I'm going to finish off with that final round of floppy fish. And this is back to the elongated version here, where I'm reaching back, opening, and closing for 10 reps on each side. I'm using that hip again as a pivot point, pressing down with my right hand here, opening back with the left hand, and coordinating that movement by closing in with both legs. All right, and last but not least, I'm gonna do 12 repetitions of a body row. And here I have an over-the-door suspension straps, and I'm leaning myself back, the weight is in my feet. I'm gonna pull myself up for 12 repetitions, and here I'm using the palm down to the palm neutral position. All right, in between body rows, I'm gonna go into a rotational dead bug. So here I'm gonna lay down, back flat on the floor, bend my knees to 90 degrees, weight in hand. My arms are gonna go in one direction, my legs go to the opposite direction, and then I'm using my core to bring myself back to the center. I'm gonna do 12 repetitions of this, meaning I'm getting 6 rotations in each direction. And then I'll start again with that second round of body row. All right, back to that second round of body row here. I'm gonna show you a neutral or hammer grip for the whole 12 repetitions. And again, you're focusing on keeping that chest up, keeping that body in line. Pull up for about a 1 count, down for about a 2 to 3 count, keeping your neck relaxed and squeezing those shoulder blades. The lower you take yourself to the floor, the more challenging it's going to be. So it takes less out of your feet and puts more into your upper back. All right, so I'm going back to rotational dead bugs for 12 repetitions again, but this time I'm showing you with the medicine ball. So again, I'm still starting with that weight over my chest, knees bent 90 degrees, and my upper body and my lower body are going opposite directions. And I'm making that move happen at the same time. Then I'm basically pulling myself back together, back to the midline. So away and then back together. Okay, third and final round of body rows. And here I'm just going to show you a supinated or palms up grip. And then I have my knees bent a little bit more just to show you another way to modify it. If the other 2 ways were too intense, then you can bend your knees. And the nice thing about the straps is it's pretty much self-modifiable. So the taller you stand, the less intense it is, or the lower you get yourself down to the floor, the more intense it is. So you can easily adjust based on your level. And for that third and final round of rotational dead bugs, I'm gonna go back to using the dumbbell again. Same lineup, weight over the chest, hold on really tight to it. Knees are bent at 90 degrees, hips bent at 90 degrees. Arms and legs opposite directions, and then pulling myself back to center. Now, what to do if you are a person who doesn't have a little fancy over-the-door suspension system for body rows is you can grab your handled cords or your bands, attach them around something that is fixed in your house, and just go with a standing row. You would do 12 repetitions. Great alternative if you don't have the over-the-door suspension system. And what if you're a person that has neither fancy over-the-door suspension system or a set of bands or cords, but you do have weights, cans of soup? Then you would just do a bent over row for 12 repetitions instead.